Hey, Baruch Hashem. What is the lot of a wise man, right? So basically the idea is what God allots to you, what God gives you. What does a wise man have? He has really good things. And he has good things forever. And sometimes he has to go for a walk in nature for about an hour. Because, here's why, because the difference between what can happen now and in an hour from now is very great. In other words, from time to time, someone who's a master of their life and their destiny basically has to go and seek quiet time alone because it simply is not a time to associate or to be within the closer vicinity of other human beings. A beautiful, beautiful day. Wow. It's just magnificent. I can show you some of this. Look. Beautiful here. So from time to time, a wise man simply must go out and be by himself because that's what there is. And it's the right thing to do. You know when it and what it is, or you know what the right thing to do is, you do the right thing. Even though, of course, it's more comfortable to say, okay, look, you feel like this. Yeah, no, wisdom says that this is it. Wisdom is correct. Baruch Hashem. It's beautiful. Beautiful day. Massively beautiful day. Once again, you made the right choice. Okay, so here's how it goes, right? As a master of your life and your destiny, based on the different life cycles that go on and the daily periods of the cycles of life and the resulting perpetuousness or goodness. Okay. Whew. For this thing or for that thing, right? For example, I explain right now. Today, as I speak right now, it is a G period on a Monday afternoon at 4:20 p.m. And in addition to that, it's a double negative lunar unit right now till 7. Right, for another like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, the G periods are the daily periods of the cycles of life, right? It's good for exercise. It's actually good for what I'm doing right now. And it's not good for socializing very much. Okay, so I'm out here and I'm doing the exact right thing. Wherefore it is like the time in God's universe at this time where if you do this thing, you have a good time, right? And not the other thing. And this is the thing about discernment and being able to discern and go, okay, look, I know what the right way or the right thing, is that I should seek to work on, go for, make happen right now. And that's what you make happen. And it happens to be very good. So it's pretty steep. What goes on is that, look, all right, hold on. Okay, so now using the headset makes for better audio. So at any given point in time, there's actually something that, based on the life cycles that you're in, that's the thing wherefore it's the time right now. And if you go and you creatively, engage in that thing, you have a good time. Now, another thing I'd like to share is that, you know, when you go to bed at a certain time and you think, okay, I'm going to go to bed now and I'm going to rest, and then I'll be rested. So I get 9 hours, 10 hours. And you're laying there in bed and it's like, you're thinking. Well, listen, pay attention to the cycles of life that you're in, because there's a time when you automatically go to bed. So usually, yes, generally in the evenings, of course. And you rest automatically. And there's another time when, there's another time when you go to bed and you try to rest and it's just like you're active. This is not random. It's not left to coincidence. It's because God's universe operates according to a certain system. And this system, my friends, is that what is known as, so part of that system, a large part of it, and the most important part, probably as it pertains to our existence, is the cycles of life. So when it's time for a certain thing, and you know it's the right thing there for at that time, that's the thing that you go with and that you operate with. And guess what happens? It happens to be a very good day. And every day can be a good day if you simply maintain a little bit of wisdom being practically applied by yourself in your everyday life every day. And it goes on. And look, essentially speaking, right, you've actually got the most magnificent, you've got a permanently magnificent, beautiful journey in life. All of your life becomes a magnificent, beautiful, and a very good journey, actually, if, massive if here, you simply apply a little bit of wisdom practically as you go. Okay? Because there is a system to this. And the system is a very good thing. It also expresses itself as the 4 seasons, high tides, low tides, negative or positive polarity, male, female. Like, it all is very good as it is and how it basically works. One has to have insight into this. One has to comprehend this. And one has to learn about this, because if you do this, you can live the best possible life for as long as possible. Okay, hold on. Now the sun is shining again. See, what I'm talking about here is an absolute reality, okay? This is a total and complete absolute reality that has to be comprehended by humanity, because listen, if you pay attention to this, you have a permanent legitimate ticket or a permanent legitimate pass to safety, or to something like goodness, and even eternal goodness, because of how, you know, everything in creation in God's universe had been provided with, wow, hallelujah, magnificent levels of goodness that are actually stemming from the eternal source. That's so beautiful. Baruch Hashem. Well, I'm looking at half of a double rainbow here. Hallelujah. Okay. Walking here is actually humans. Okay. Going to keep to myself now as I walk. Wow, look at that. Whoa. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Just here. I'm looking at it was a good choice. You made the right choice to come out here, right? Because, you see, yeah, being guided by the Creator and His wisdom, it's an important thing, because it could be said that it's actually the most important thing in life, to be guided by God's wisdom, because you're being guided by God, the Creator. Okay, you're being guided by the Creator, and the way that the Creator guides you is with wisdom. Right? Exactly. No, it's just entirely true. So, wow, magnificent. So yeah, that's a case. That's a true thing that we're talking about here. And also, if you look at okay, all the options in life, right? You have so many options in life. You have so many options in life, right? That what if you could choose, right? Now, I say generally choose, yet definitely choose wisely. And this would result in the best possible thing that can happen actually happening all the time. Okay? This is a true fact. What I'm telling you is a real thing. It exists, and I do it every day. And it works very good. It's like a miracle. So it all hinges upon simply being somewhat intelligently, wisely, and legitimately prudent. Okay? If you practice prudence, right, what happens is the decisions that you make, whether great or small, look, it's not even that it's great or small, it's that it starts very small and it can become very great. And this goes for anything and everything. It's a fact, okay? Listen closely, okay? It all starts with an idea, a divine inspired impulse, idea, a cosmic impulse, right? Like the mind of God within thinking something. You think something, have an idea, an impulse, okay? As you then, you have a divine inspiration, an idea, right? You evaluate this for a second with discernment, with wisdom, okay? And what happens is you identify that, that is a very good idea there. That makes a lot of sense. That is something that is clearly described as and indicated as being wise and perpetuous and is guaranteed to result in good things. Now, what I am saying is that you generally have knowledge and information that goes to such a point that you actually know that I know that this decision, because it is within a certain sector of what is possible and what we know to be possible, is something that will result in something good. Exactly how very good it is, that remains an ongoing, increasing divine surprise. Okay? So what I'm saying is that we have the ability to generally and also definitively and decisively know that it will be good. Okay? At the same time, we know that, listen, we know that it'll be good, and how good it actually gets remains something of a calculable yet eternal mystery. So it's a very powerful thing, because you know. So listen, this is true, okay? It's almost like saying, okay, I know that if I combine these ingredients to make a shake, right? That based on the ingredients, the proportions, the temperature, what's in here, what I'm making, right? It will taste good. It will be a chocolate, kosher milkshake or whatever. And we know that it's going to taste good because we combine these elements, and yet what happens is, so that's for sure. You know that it's going to be good for sure. Yet what actually happens though, in addition to that, it's very, very good. In addition to that, it actually is very, very good. Better than you expected possible. Okay? Damn. As I said, oh God. Doesn't matter. Could be anywhere. Could be any possible place, right? The thing is that so this goes for all of life, right? Life lived with wisdom equals a permanently, and actually, so remember the levels and the fluctuations of like how much or plus minus, they're all based on how much plus minus wise, legitimate, coordinated effort you actually put into this. Speaking of that, half an hour, okay. Okay, speaking of that, so look, with wisdom, right, as a master of your life and destiny, you're actually capable of, and you actually live a life where, I'm telling you the truth, this is like a permanent truth. This is permanently, operationally prosperous, and like, as it is. This is what there is. Yet it gets better. It gets better. Is that with a certain amount of wisdom being basically practically applied by yourself in life, all of your life and beyond, right? Yeah, is actually a very good thing. It's actually very good. Now, it's almost like that's the basic guarantee that we have. And it's a real guarantee. I actually have this guarantee, and I benefit from this, and I experience this every day. Okay? I'm telling you the truth. The thing is that, imagine this. It's like having eternal life insurance with standard security, safety, health, wealth, prosperity guaranteed to a certain standard level all the way. Like having permanent coverage that is actually permanent and guaranteed. That is a serious thing. How many people, how many companies, how many institutions can actually provide something like this? This is something that God provides, that the Creator provides, and it's like made possible and it's expedited by wisdom. It's actually made possible by the practical application of wisdom. So now do you actually grasp the reality of what I'm saying, that everybody, anybody, based on the universal order that there is, same thing as that there's daytime and there's nighttime, okay? And there are varying degrees in between at certain places in the world, like in the far north, but it's generally, there's a pattern there. There's an orderly pattern in creation in the universe and the laws of nature, right? That you can actually live a life where you're guaranteed safety for life. Even right now, it's actually something that is so magnificent, and it's actually true. It's true. Is that it's like, while I sit here and vlog, I know that through the practice of self-mastery, right, by practically applying wisdom, basically, as I go, all of my life is safe. It's good. That's it. And it's the truth. It is the truth. What I'm telling you is the truth, everyone. Because it's comparable to as if you had a permanent a permanent source of providence that cannot be expended. Yeah. And it's okay. It's like having parents who left you so much money in the bank as an inheritance that it literally is too much for the bank and it cannot be expended in a lifetime. There's too much of it. That's like divine providence and how it's systematically allotted, or it's actually being carried out, provided, spread out through a certainly coordinated system of the cycles of life. Like, okay, what makes the wind blow, the rain fall, the sunshine, and 4 seasons, and knowing, okay, if I plant my seeds at this time, if I take care of them till autumn, and then in autumn I'm going to reap a good harvest. It's that same thing. You're accessing the eternal, universally available energy and providence systematically so that you are sort of working with the available resources and resting too, so that what happens is it makes everything so that everything is really good and it gets better and better every day. Only you have to be discerning or prudent. And what is that? It's easy. It's not difficult at all. To be discerning and prudent, yeah, it's like, so it's as if the crux of this, the crux between a good life and the opposite, anything whatsoever, the crux of this, it all just simply hinges upon you, right? Practically applying wisdom in your life and having the ability to basically force yourself to be able to have mastery over yourself, so that what you decide to actually like think about, speak about, and really make happen and manifest, that's simply coordinated properly. So like, there's a time to go and to socialize. There's a time when it's not time to go and socialize. Now you may feel like, I'd rather go and, you know it's not the time. Don't do it now. Wait 30 minutes. And then, for the next 3 hours and 25 minutes, it's the most magnificent time to socialize, right? Or, okay, let's expand this. What I'm saying is that the ability to have mastery over yourself, the ability to manage yourself, right? The ability to actually force yourself in a positive way if necessary, in a very small way that has a very large benefit. Like, to be able to restrain yourself, to have self-restraint and self-control, right? To a very basic level, a basic amount of self-control, the capability to control yourself, okay, is already the key and the hinge. It's like it turns the gears. It's the key. It is the key, whether large, like whether small or massive, it is the key to actually all of the benefits that exist. Because discernment, self-control, the ability to decide properly and to carry out properly, right? That's the key to pretty much, that's the key right there. It's as if the entire process of self-mastery, as magnificent as it is, the ability to live a life with God, or to determine your life and your destiny, to have it be good, to live a happy and a blessed life, a healthy and a wealthy and legitimate, prosperous life, right? Permanently, guaranteed, right? By divine providence and wise, living, right? As magnificent as that is, it's interesting because this entire process of self-mastery, as magnificent as it truly is, it's actually also sort of incumbent upon, it's actually activated or deactivated by basically your ability to have self-control and to sort of to discern, to choose wisely, right? Like, it's actually the case. This is something that is significant so that you can practice self-mastery. What you have to do is practice and attain the ability. We all have the ability to basically choose the right thing and go for the right thing and avoid the wrong thing. Now, we can do this in very small ways to practice this extremely powerful skill. Like, okay, sometimes how do I do this? Okay, if I'm ever in a situation and I start to think like, what I do is I stop and I look, what are the life cycles that I'm in? And it explains to me why I feel that way. And so then I know why things are how they are. And then I know exactly what's actually really going on with myself, my mood, how I feel, right? And so then what I do is, by gaining an intelligent oversight of everything, I get a clear picture of why everything is how it is. And so then I know that I don't have to worry about anything, actually. It's just because of the way that it is right now. Because I know what's possible next. I know what I can make happen. I know what the next thing is that's in line, like the next life cycles that are coming, right? There's one coming right now in a couple of minutes. In about, wow, so soon. 15 plus 6 is 21. So, about 22 minutes or so, we're into an A period on a Monday evening. And a very good time for socializing, upgrading, positive, supportive, legitimate, good, life increasing everything, right? So now, knowing that, right, it's like I don't have to worry. I can actually control myself because I know I don't have to worry about something because I know why I even worry right now or not. And I know that too is based on how there's a systematic it's all systematic. And you understand the system, then it really makes it a lot easier because you know why everything is how it is at the moment. Wow, really? Yes, you know why everything is how it is at the moment. Now imagine knowing that and being able to know that day in, day out, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour. That's actually what we have. So, okay, knowing what is good and what is a wise choice or course of action, you automatically choose that because you know that the consequences of that will be good and vice versa. So it's like, now, sometimes there is even the possibility that with all the wisdom that you have, you still make like a sloppy decision. It's possible. It's happened before. Yet you really will learn quickly to make wise decisions because the sloppy decisions can have consequences that are not good. And, there's different levels to all of this. Like I said, it starts very small and it becomes very great. And it starts very good, small, and it becomes very good and very great, good, right? And so on. It's the same thing. So actually what happens is that as I speak right now, I know what to decide on. So now, and I know, it's almost like I know that if I do this, this is the result. If I do that, that's the result. Okay. Now, I also know that the ability to know this has to be gained. It's something that comes by experience and by divine blessing and wisdom, and also experience too. Like, okay, I've done this before. I know how this works, right? It also arrives by something that is known as knowledge and experience, but also knowing what to expect and knowing that you're right with that. Another thing is this, is that, what do you call this? What I'm looking to